for you, I had the word peace in mind, but as I was preparing just now,
Mhm.
I I wanted to maybe suggest presence instead. But maybe I can leave you to decide because there's also portals, there's profound, but I think we want to go for either peace or presence.
Probably presence, I think. Yeah. I know a bit more. I'm not very good at peace, really. I
It's
want to be, but I'm quite volatile. I've got a lot of fire, and so I kind of have this peaceful exterior, and people think, oh, yeah, she's retreat, all this stuff, writing and that. But if anyone, like, pisses me off, like, yeah. So I, not perfect, no. So it's like, yeah, kind of. I think presence probably more. Yeah, I once organised an event for world peace, and this guy, American guy, I invited him to come in. I invited lots of people to come and give talks and music and see anything they wanted to share from themselves about peace. So I like did this whole gathering, and this guy Robert, his name was, from America, and he was like a prophet, and he used to write the most amazing like prophetic poetry and had a very strong presence, and people looked at him like a kind of prophet. And he said, "I don't do peace." I was, what? You're like, it blew my mind a bit, and I was like, "What do you mean, Robert? Because surely you're about peace." He went, "No, I'm not, because peace is it's continually changing. It's like nothing. You can have peace, but then you don't have peace, and then it's like layers." And he kind of explained the whole thing of peace, that it's not this simple thing that you can just do. It's like one of the most, like, I mean, we are essentially peace ourselves, but it's like, I think that is such a challenge, for people. Peace. It's like they always have an excuse to not be peaceful. So there's lots of reasons not to be peaceful. So I think that's like the mind. It really triggers the mind. It's like it's got no hiding place when it comes to peace, really, does
maybe we have to stay on peace because
it?
there's only so much you can say about presence. Say what can you say about presence? But peace, on the other hand, for me, it was also an important one because I still repeat a story to myself of an event that had happened a year ago, around the time when the conflict in Palestine was really becoming much more present.
Yeah.
And around that time, I remember sitting in the couch, not watching the news, but how something like overcame me to then sort of crack open, or like how yeah, the peace seeped in totally to dissolve me. And 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 so it's very interesting how, because some other people have also asked me, like, was there a certain event that made you come into this state? And then I would say, yeah, Palestine was kind of the drop. That was kind of the final drop in the bucket, maybe. So, like, you have to have then a certain amount of conflict which you can no longer process.
You can't hold it anymore. You can't contain it. It's too big. It's like you reach the foot maximum. Like for me, what happened was that I was in my teens. I began to get like as a child, I used to see a light inside people. Like I was like, God, and I'd be like staring. Like my mum, what are you doing? I was like, that person is God. They were no, it's God. I can see it. They've got a light inside. Like God. And they like I was very tiny, and I just used to look at people. I mean, I can see it was terrifying for my family to do it. Like, you've got to get normal, you know. And so then I had to go to the priests and the church and tell them, like, miss us, this thing. And they just went, so they used to tell me to be quiet, but I could only tell them, but not other people. So they helped me to, like, you know, and then it got worse. Then when I got like teenage, I was seeing chakras, auras, seeing what was going to happen tomorrow, what was on the news the next. I just was like everywhere. This, and I didn't know what to do. I tried to get help, and I just kind of got the right help from the right people. And I met a man who had grown up with Krishnamurti. Have you heard of Krishnamurti? And he understood me, and he said, "It's fine. You're not ill. You're not mental. You're going through a process. It's fine." And then I had from 19 to about 23, I was on a retreat, solitary retreat for 4 years, and went through this whole inner journey. And so it kind of like, it didn't really fit in with my life and my family. So I moved and I went to London and I started working with people and like learning from people, being supported to just not go bonkers, I suppose. You know. But I was really vulnerable, so I had to like, you know, just watch out a bit. Really. So after that time, I just began to like do like retreats and stuff like that. But it was like I had this massive denial, like a massive part of me. So I would give so much, but this stuff was mine. So I had this kind of fear of sharing, and I don't know. I used to burn my writing, and so it's like only on Substack really, and my couple of books before that I've actually recently started to be able to own myself. So yeah, I think it's kind of like a massive healing at this time to really embrace what I've known all my life, but couldn't find where to put it, or you know, like keep it secret, you know. So it's a kind of I don't know, like a rebirth in a way, but as myself, not as this person who is denying some most real part of themselves. But then that makes me really able to understand everybody through. We all like that. We all know. I think we have this total awareness, but we have this wall that comes down, and the world supports us to keep that wall. You know, and I think the wall's coming down. I do. I think the wall is, as you described your experience, it's like you were feeling that way. You know, and that the wall is coming down. And can you imagine? Mass enlightenment.
Yeah,
Just mass awareness. I mean, it's possible.
it's exciting. It's really exciting to feel it happen. And and
Hmm.
and I mean this must happen often. I think it's not. I don't feel like it's such a unique period.
No, 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 no. This is the thing. I think it happens um, to a lot of people, but they kind of put it back again if they don't have that paradigm. The paradigm they're in doesn't match the paradigm they've experienced. Where do they put it? It's like me. It's like, oh, better hide that shit quick, like lock me up or something. So it's like that. Like I've worked with a lot of people, in different forms of awareness, I suppose. And I mean, literally, I've seen people crack open and experience what you talk about, but I meet them later and to put it back away again. So
It's
I think
tucked away again. Yeah.
it's put back in the cupboard. It was a special experience. It only happened because I was on the beach, or because this had happened, that had happened, or it was the astrology or something. It's like people make this like theory about why it happened, and it's not. It's there all the time. So I think it's kind of like this. I really do feel that it's that breakthrough is needed to make this normal. Make it's that's what my book's about. It's to bring it into the mainstream and to explain it in a way like it's available to everybody 24/7. So I think like that. Um, I think the work you're doing and other people that I've seen on is Substack and other places is that's going to really help to bridge people from where they are now and the people looking, they're looking, and they want, they try this and that and to fix up jobs, the things that are supposed to sort them out, but nothing's really changed. So it's like I think this has got like a kind of permanent, you know, recognition of who we are, and I think that's the only thing that's going to happen. Now we've done all the other stuff and it hasn't worked. So maybe collectively we're reaching a point that where you just take it. And I think that's it. It's going to reach a boiling point before people actually give up, surrender, like you described.
Yeah. Yeah, you said it, powerful. Presence is powerful, and you can keep saying the words, but then the peace comes in when yeah. For yeah, yeah.
Well, maybe our true nature is peace. Maybe that it's like all the prophets and mystical people say, inner peace, don't they? Stillness and like just being. It's all about just now, and there's nothing else. So I think it's like emptiness, like that prime. I've just been doing some work this afternoon on the ground of being. Do you know about Dzogchen?
Um, yes, yes, yes. Of course, yeah.
Dzogchen, yeah. Well, the ground of being. I was working like on that today. Being like the prime, like it's like sunyata, isn't it? It's like all the kind of emptiness, and it's just another word, but they describe it quite well in that it's like the basis. It's like the basis from which everything comes is like perfect, luminous, you know, unchanging. It's just this beautiful, just reading, you start to feel good, you know. So I think it's like the, you know, what is holding us is peace. What is holding our actual essence, being together, is made from peace. And it's like, I tell you what, one thing that really, I was with some friends, we were like having a bonfire, and there was this beautiful tapestry on the wall behind this lady. And I just was like, and then I suddenly looked at the carpet, and I thought, well, that's it. Beautiful Turkish carpet. They know, they're speaking like so much with that carpet about spirit, about God. And it was like, that's the way it's being made. This is the way we are. It's all perfect. But if you took that one thread from that carpet and moved it, the whole carpet would be out, wouldn't it? Do you know what I mean? The whole carpet would be screwed. One thread, you know, it would ruin it. And I thought, well, that's like us. That's us. We think with the separate threads, but actually was the entire carpet. So we want to start behaving like a separate, like, thread. I think I'll put this over here because that actually looks better than the whole picture, you know. So I think that's what, it's hard to explain it, but it's like we're intact and we're complete and perfect and everything's in the right place, but we just don't believe. So that's what I kind of get about them. It's like, well, there's nothing to do. It's the we don't know.
And I wonder about then the purpose of invoking it, right? So there's the being it, there's the knowing it, but the invoking it, the way we talk about it or write about it, I do think that has a specific purpose to maybe circle back to world peace. Not sure we will get there in our lifetime, but for us perfect beings, isn't it important to then invoke these matters in situations of conflict, maybe?
I don't know. I've got quite a few different you know, ideas about it, really. Having been somebody who has worked with peace. I mean, a couple of years ago, I was on the radio in the UK, talking to the entire country about peace. God.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, I was like, I get this energy and then I'll do it, you know, even if it seems bonkers. But if I know I'm guided, then from myself, not from something outside. So yeah, I was very like strong about peace, and then within no time, I was connecting with all these people through a friend who had to keep people into peace, and they were all contacting me. This is too fast, you know. So it was like a voice that was racing, and I couldn't. And then I kind of like, other things happened, and the thread kind of got lost. And then the whole war thing started to get worse and worse, and I was, oh dear, I haven't done anything about it, you know, kind of haven't carried on with that thread. But then I kind of lost faith, I think, that I thought, well, you know, it's not the first time I've worked for peace either. So I kind of like felt like I'd lost the point, I think. I was thinking it's not going to work, and people didn't turn up, and they said they would just work whatever they were doing. So I kind of like lost hope a bit, I think. Didn't have the energy the momentum, you know. other things.
It's normal, yeah, to lose it
Yeah.
and maybe circle back at some point. I think, yeah.
Yeah, when it's the time, maybe you're a calling.
I'm the piper. I'm the piper, yeah.
That's it, the piper, yeah. Don't know. It's just, it seems to me, like I think, it's the nature of humans to fight, isn't it? They seem to have this, we are beings, we are. But the nature, it's like the human nature, unconscious behavior and thinking, it's kind of seems to exacerbate. You see, when I was on my retreat, I saw this coming in the future. I saw this time. And I'll tell you what I saw. So maybe that's why I didn't go too much in that direction. Peace. I saw that there would be division, conflict, and that it would be worse and worse. And it would get like the whole is splitting. That's the illusion that everything's split, broken, separate pieces, and it's not its whole. But people are like experiencing that massive fracturing, and I saw it go into tiny, tiny pieces. And then I saw that the internet is actually speeding it up, and a lot of the stuff coming, not stuff from everybody, but from some people, is actually kind of speeding up the whole process. And then I saw, this is it. The world's just going to end. It's going to annihilate itself. And then I saw something go flipped like that. And then I saw that AI and the internet and everything actually became a force of good or a force for peace. And what happened was that the people gave up fighting because they'd had enough. It was so bad that they themselves decided this cannot carry on. And that was like gone then. That paradigm of war and of fighting disappeared. And then I saw, you probably can't now, I saw like that people had transcended the war, transcended it, and it was no longer on any level acceptable. Like some things have gone like slavery, or on some level, a lot of things that we hope we don't have now, but were rampant years ago. And then I saw that people, because they had freed themselves from war, they kind of were then able to have so much space to express who they were and to be inherit themselves, if you know what I mean, to actually have the space to be who they are. And it was amazing. It was amazing. And there was all I know is that it flipped as if by itself, like as a collective, did actually awaken because it was so bad it couldn't carry on. And so I think that on an individual level often happens. I think that's on a collective level. There's an end. It's like the end of this barbaric and misguided separation in consciousness. And that I do feel that people will recognize their oneness with everyone,
But no, thanks for sharing that vision, because that is, I relate to that also, to the level of comfort that brings, that things seem to be turning out for the better, also due to this advent of AI, for me, it played a role as well. I don't like chat with it often, but there were times where I got to ask some questions or put in some prompts, and then you do realize, like, oh, for people to engage with this is very powerful stuff, and and it does play the role, I think, that you just described. And it's going to like have this little peak of people resisting it in like a very forceful way, but as you say, at some point, just gonna give up. I think you're just gonna give up, like. And so no, that does bring peace in its own way without having to be on the barricades demanding peace. It'll.
Yeah, because the thing is, when you're doing that, you're not in peace. It's an irony, and I think for me, it's like to try and be peace rather than try and get. You can't create peace from a place where you're not peaceful.
Yes.
And this, I mean, when I say AI, I mean like technology, computers, all of it. It was everything.
Yeah.
And
Starting with the internet, and yeah.
the computers were not like this one here. They were glass. Okay. And you could fold it, put it in it, and then like a piece of paper. Then you got it out, and then you just unfold, and it became solid, and you could see through it. And then what happened? I saw like the people who didn't want to look at it because it was just war and this propaganda, fear. And then I saw people. It was like going into like a state of ecstasy, like pure energy just coming through, like feeling their like true essence there, because I think somehow it has got disconnected from, and it was like it was freed up. And then I saw that everyone was kind of like connected and realizing through, it was as if a signal came through the computers. It was like it was like telepathy, but through computers. And sitting, and everyone was like getting instant awakening. It was a really crazy experience. But then when I'd had that, I finished my retreat. I thought, well, it's done. I've seen now. It's going to be okay. I can get up now and go back to the world and be normal again now.
Thanks. So it's going to kick us out in 10 seconds, but I'm glad that you shared that vision. So thanks very much. Okay. Keep in touch. Have a great evening.
See you soon.
See you. Bye bye.